You're now listening to M.E.M.E. M.E.M.E. You're now listening to M.E.M.E. Yeah, yeah. M.E.M.E. M.E.M.E.
This is the M.E.M.E. Podcast, where M.E.M.E. stands for music, movies, improvs, everyone must envy, where we make memes on air. We're the only podcast that memeifies and discusses Black entertainment, past, present, and non-existent, that you need to love and respect for the purpose of you appreciating the culture more and us pushing the culture forward. I am Kim Chappelle.
I am Old Contrarian for this episode. One of my original names.
And I'm Phoebe Shore.
Off on your own, you want to get off on your own. You want to get off on your own, girl.
And shout out to Albie, as per usual.
All right, and this is, and we are the Supreme Meme Team. This is season 8, where we show you why we're great. Meme number 91, entitled "All Hail" or "All Hail Dave Chappelle." Hashtag don't abort the baby. Hashtag cancel culture. They serious this episode, so I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be joking around.
Oh, that's gonna all hail.
So you don't care about the plight of our community, my brother?
Show don't. Show
my
don't.
Umar Johnson on.
Nah. Where's that school at?
School yourself.
Ooh, the school of self.
But I just gave away my whole meaning of this episode. School yourself.
All right. I got what I got for you.
Shut up, bitch.
But wait.
So
Tush it.
So you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and all podcast platforms. You're only getting seasons 7.5 and up, or 8 and up on those platforms. If you want seasons 1 through 7.5,
How you get half a season? How do you get half a season?
there's a difference between the beginning of season 7 and the second half of season 7.
Correct.
We was wilding before we broke up, so y'all got to pay for that. I didn't do any editing on those shows, but when we came back, we was fresh, and we always on video, so we had to
Niggas
conduct
was
ourselves.
tired.
Say whatever we could get off our brains.
Niggas was mad.
So if you want season 7, 1 through 6, or seasons 1 through 7.5, pre and post shows and other exclusive content, go to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/theMEMEpodcast, THEMEME podcast. Donate, support, and become a meme or a memer. Topics of discussion for today. We got controversy.
You want ready for that?
I did a guitar.
Oh, okay.
All right. Then segment
Somebody
2.
got to keep it together.
Sorry.
Segment 2, the closing the cancel culture. And segment 3, it's okay.
It's all right, y'all. It's okay. It's all right, y'all. It's okay.
So before we get into it, shout out to season number 5, meme number 58, entitled Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones, a meme stand-up review, where we talked about Dave Chappelle's last.
Is this what you think
Special.
that reviewers sound like?
That's how I sound.
Yeah.
How I sounded.
He said shoulders, Mr. Gordy.
Sounded good. How I sounded.
Yeah. So shout out to meme number 58, where we talked about Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones. So go listen to that. It's on Patreon. Patreon season 5, meme number 58, www.patreon.com/theMEMEpodcast. So excuse me. So segment 1, controversy. Make it shorter than that. I don't want to go through the whole.
I barely just pulled my guitar out.
Okay, we want
You
to
know
go.
how hard it is to put this strap on? Paul.
We don't do that here.
Down. Go put it back on. Down. Gotcha, Percy. All right. So I'm gonna run down the timeline. So we're gonna go through this timeline in regards to what's went down since Dave Chappelle's Closer came out. Y'all ready for this? Break it down. So Dave Chappelle's The Closer dropped on Netflix on 10/5. This is the sixth and the latest of his specials. And as he said in the show, this will be the last for now. So the very next day, now these drop like 12 o'clock, right? The same as with the music, right?
Most likely, yeah.
So the very next day, probably not even 24 hours. No, it was 24 hours. So T Field, now give out a real name, go do the research. T Field, a white trans software engineer at Netflix, publicly condemns her employer for releasing The Closer. She says, and I quote, "What we object to is the harm that content like this," I can't read. What we object to is the harm.
Finger.
Yeah.
Pause.
You just got away with the strap. I'm quick with the wit, but can't read.
Those are usually it's usually the
what
challenged
we
kids.
Object to is the harm that content like this does to the trans community, especially trans people of color, and very specifically Black trans women.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Is T Field Black?
No, she's a white trans software engineer.
Where's her dog?
In the race?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Do you know her? Do you know her?
She have a. Oh no, go ahead. Where's her dog in the race?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she stated
she is not Black.
Right.
Oh, you mean from the aspect of why she bringing up
correct,
especially Black trans women like that?
Correct. Where is her dog?
With the transgender community.
With the Black. Where is her dog in the fight for the Black transgender community?
Okay.
She may know being discriminated against for being a transgender, but she has no idea how hard it is to be a Black person, period. That goes back to the conversation we were having about the oppressor trying to become the oppressed.
So the oppressed,
and vice versa.
So is this like the oppressor trying to be the oppressed so they become the oppressor again?
Or this is also where Frankel talks about the view of your horror or tragedy being seen by somebody outside
of
yourself. But I don't think this is that.
Okay.
I think this is an agenda.
And we'll get to that. So you did mention Netflix and their other shows.
Ah, boy. So
go ahead, man.
In light of trying not to be that person that I normally am, T Fields, where were you when Big Mouth was released? Where were you when the 4th season of Big Mouth was released, which happens to be probably the greatest and the raunchiest of all the seasons thus far? Where were you when Cuties was released on Netflix? So you're meaning to tell me that and you already know how I feel. You're meaning to tell me that the lives of adult Black transgenders mean more than the lives of exploited Black children?
Fair point.
I like that one.
Where's your dog?
What do you really care about?
Where's your dog?
It seems like it's a push, an attempt to create the Black man versus the Black woman narrative that we've been seeing over and over and over and over again. Because it's like, why would you even throw that in there? Like,
I think about it from that aspect, but yeah, separation, most definitely.
But your voice was awful silent when children were twerking in booty shorts. Awful silent.
And you was there? We looked it up. You started at Netflix in February 2019. We did the research. Ain't that hard?
So, where's your dog? And if you don't have one, it's okay to mind your business.
So you feel that she, of course, missed the overall point he was trying to make, and even fueled what he was trying to do. Okay, I got you.
Because they don't listen. It's
One
selective.
day or many days.
Ooh, they out to get you, Dave. I want to say it is many theys who can probably be pointed back to one they. We just don't know who that one they is.
Who is they?
They out to get you, Dave.
These niggas are trying to kill me. So this ties into the next story that dropped on the same day. Another white trans Netflix showrunner for the show Dear White People. Y'all seen that movie?
I've seen the movie. I did not watch the show.
I did not watch the movie or the show.
I saw the movie. Did I watch the show?
No,
I don't think I watched the show.
I didn't watch
I think me and you talked when the movie came out. I think I told you then why I didn't want to watch that movie.
You remember?
It was like something. Well, I can tell you probably match what I said now. Like, what is the purpose? And the main character.
Yeah, I got the trailer when it came out was at 2015. Yeah, I think it was 2015. I was like, seems different. Let me go see that. So I went to go see it. So
it impressed you that much?
Is it oppressed or impressed?
You felt both.
Already impressed. No, it wasn't that it impressed me. It was just like, it was different. It was just like a different vibe. So I was just like, oh, let me go check that out.
But that's the beginning of this woke culture that everybody speaks about?
No, that was like 2009.
No, but on the mainstream.
Stop it right there. You're going too far.
Yeah, because I remember in the movie it was like, we can't be racist, like that talking point that a lot of people use, but Black people being racist, like we can't be racist. And I remember around that time, like that's when people start really amping up and start speaking on that level. So it was like, okay, I can see what you're saying around that time.
Damn
like,
you, Tessa Thompson.
I was really trying to say her name because yeah. Anyway, maybe I do need to go back to this movie and then see where a lot of these get their wokeness from.
Yeah, it was an interesting plot, in regards to seeing like different perspectives from like, Blacks from different areas of life or walks of life. So it was just like, it was cool. So a white trans Netflix showrunner for the show Dear White People, Jay Moore, resigns from Netflix. And then another writer had wrote, because she had made her comments, whatever. But someone wrote, how can Jay Moore's privilege as a member of the LGBTQ community boycott a Black man and run a show about the Black experience at a predominantly white university? So that point was made, and then they responded with like, oh, you're just trying to shift the conversation. But I felt like that was a valid point.
It's a solid point.
But it goes to what you were just saying with T Fields.
Where's your dog? It's a solid point.
Hashtag where's your dog?
You have a privilege. And I know nobody or a lot of people will disagree with this, but that community is very privileged, which results in that conversation we had about inclusion versus a takeover.
We'll get to that.
You already have a privilege of being white. So imagine boycotting a black person about a black show. Listen, dear white people, stop it.
It's another hashtag.
Dear white people.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Stop it right there.
So, almost a week later, on the 11th of October.
Almost a week later.
5 days, boy. 5 days later, boy. Raiders coach John Gruden resigns over a trove of homophobic and misogynistic
Not
emails.
a trove.
Trove.
A trove. It was like 11 years worth of emails.
That is a treasure trove. Shout out to the Raiders.
Yeah.
A treasure trove. I'm on it.
I like it.
You got it.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you.
So
down.
So what day was that?
The 11th.
The 11th? That's when he resigned?
Yes.
So
That's when he resigned, or that's when they started coming
No,
out?
them emails came out before he resigned.
Okay.
the emails came out 3 days before. Well, no, one email came out.
The
3
racist email came
out
out 3
days
days.
before. And he basically was like, oh, no, I'm not racist. What do you say? He called them rubber lips or
No,
something
he
like
called them
Michelin-
tire lips.
Tire lips or Michelin lips or something like that.
Michelin lips.
Yeah, so I did find it funny. But
I
He's-
mean, like we roast all day, every day.
And I know what
That's what
that
we
is.
do in the
That's
community.
people.
but he's
We-
not part of our
the-
community.
off-
Right? Yeah. They be like,
Tire
you can't do
lips,
that, homie.
or AKA soup coolers. You're referring to people with lips like mine that are full, that your wife is probably getting injections to look like.
But according to Jonathan Grew, he said that he meant it as in rubber tires, like spinning, like so. There's a whole bunch of lies coming out of their mouth.
Boy,
And he used
boy
it on
you're
other-
reaching, man.
And he said about
If you
other
reach
people.
any further, your arm's gonna fall off.
I think he did have video of using like the rubber lips term, but it was the fact is that rubber lips and then Michelin tire lips is two different lips.
Those are two different lips.
So then 3 days later,
Go see the doctor.
the paper comes out where the treasure trove comes out where it's like 11 years worth of emails. It has homophobic, misogynistic. One of them had like a topless photos of the cheerleaders and all that kind of stuff. So immediately,
Boy,
Can
now,
I,
Wildin'.
can I ask a question though?
Mhm.
Not for nothing.
Mhm.
How did he come into possession of these pictures of said cheerleaders topless?
okay, so let's tell you how everything kind of started. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how the investigation started. It was a owner. Oh, I tell you exactly what happened. The Washington football team, I almost call them their old name. They were under investigation for sexual harassment and all that kind of stuff. Cheerleaders and stuff like that against the owner. So he was under investigation. So which is how they got all those emails.
That was my next question.
So that's where all the emails started coming out, and then somebody leaked because they like that leaked out. There was a Adam Schefter from ESPN that he had sent stories to him like, "Hey,
But where
is this
did
story
he?
okay to come out with?"
But
Like,
where did he get the pictures of the cheerleaders?
all these people were wilding.
probably
That's what the whole
passing-
thing was
it's
about. That's what the whole
probably
thing was about.
Like
Like,
probably passing them around.
So
yeah, they would use it. They were saying they would use it. It was almost like the traffic type of thing. Almost could be said to be that.
okay, so then I have a question.
Hmm.
As a whammon,
Jamming, whamming.
and
Standing for.
I'm not out here trying to be standing for whammon, but if said cheerleaders who are adults were topless, in these pictures, do we think they were forced? I'm highly doubtful that they were.
I don't know. I just read the emails.
You read them?
I don't want to.
I read the article.
I don't.
Are you CC'd on them, sir?
I don't want to be. I don't want to mention those and give that the same light as the racism and the homophobicness.
But that was the point I was going to get to, where, as I said, he came out with a statement about the
Michelin tires.
He coached that weekend.
Around, okay.
But then when all the other stuff came out, that's when he immediately resigned. At the end of the day,
it's cool to be racist.
Exactly. Okay. So that was, I think that happened like after the show happened, right? After the closure came out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because people were talking about it. Like, oh, perfect timing. This is what Dave was talking about.
Yeah, essentially.
So then, same day, on the 11th, Netflix suspends 3 employees, T. Field and 2 other employees, due to them attending an executive's meeting they were not supposed to.
Okay. So boom.
Now you just causing trouble.
Like, are you able to just walk in your boss's office when you want to? Because you mad about something?
What?
Me?
Oh God, I forgot where we work at. So that might work
in some places.
Not there.
Yes, for me, yes. And if you're not in your office, I'm gonna track you down.
But then it turned around like they did have an invite. They were allowed to go. So they spun it around like after they did some investigation, because they were trying to say that you fired them because of the because they were public in what they were saying against the company. Then it's like, no, we fired you because you disrupted a executive meeting. Then it was like, come to find out, it's like they were actually
okay. So if you're invited somewhere and you start a fight that results in a shooting, you should be arrested. No?
If you're invited somewhere,
if you're invited to a party and you start a fight.
Oh, you start the fight.
That results in a shooting.
But not you shooting or somebody you're arguing with shooting.
Correct.
Like a random other shooting?
No, I want to say that you're closely involved. I won't call you the shooter.
But you may have had something to
do
with it.
But you may.
It'd be like accessory.
You would still be arrested.
Okay,
yeah, you brought in for questioning.
Okay,
so it started with a suspension. You were given a warning to take your dogs home.
Get your dogs in line.
So on the next day, on the 12th, boy, this is like
boom, 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 boom,
yeah,
boom.
Like, boy, what y'all doing? Boy, I ain't never seen this much organization.
Wildin'.
So on the 12th,
not wilding, but wilding.
Wilding.
So 10/12, a Netflix trans employee walkout is announced for the 20th. They made a statement. Netflix has continually failed to show deep care by repeatedly releasing content that harms the trans community.
Pause.
Go ahead.
What is the other? Oh, this is all Dave Chappelle specials?
You said what? This is all over the Dave
Chappelle? No, he said they can repeatedly release content that harms the trans community. What else is there besides the Dave Chappelle's specials?
They didn't go into detail. But
because it's just the Dave Chappelle.
But they said repeatedly, so
okay.
Unless they're saying all of his other ones.
They're talking about all of them. They're talking about the treasure trove of Dave Chappelle stand-ups. I gotta ask a question.
I got a question.
T. Field, follow me. What about all the other content that's released that's harmful to every other community?
She probably like, hey, if it ain't got nothing to do with me, but it ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all need to organize and, be like me.
Okay, so then that still brings me back to why are you bringing up black people to start your motion? If it don't got nothing to do with you, it don't got nothing to do with you.
Very true. Because I would say that when you start talking about how they even label the articles, the white trans employee, so they tell you right there where their alliances are.
Right.
The white trans employee. Can I also ask a question before we get too far down and I forget?
Way to be a white trans employee, by the way.
Not just that.
What it could have been a trans employee, but not a white trans employee.
No, but can I ask a question? In Chappelle's stand-ups, most everything was aimed at white people. No. Including white trans people. No. What did he say about black trans people? To where T Fields.
He actually said nothing about black trans
to
people.
where T Fields feels
it's directed. There's some stuff directed towards
that she needs to protect black trans people.
Yeah, there's.
Or am I missing something?
I will always go old contrarian. The one thing I heard him say that I was like, oh shit, like he really took it there was off the first special when he said, hey, we're gonna cut our dicks off and trick niggas into fucking us. That I can see where it get problematic if you're talking from a black experience on the black side. You know good and goddamn well if you go for that angle, that is dangerous because you know how niggas are. So in the black
but you know what I'm about to say.
Why are you speaking on some shit that's going on over here?
But it also does happen.
It does happen. But
the trickery.
That is going to be the issue. That's like, even when he said that, it was like, so, how he said it like.
But even as a joke, if you're listening, you take heed to it. Because there's a little bit of truth in every joke. So you listen to it, you take heed to it, you take what you want out of it, and you make adjustments. If out of 6 stand-ups, he said that one thing
on the first one
in 2017,
and we on the 6th
in 2021,
so you see the growth.
To where and you weren't even there in 2017, so let's be clear. You weren't there. You didn't work at Netflix.
Matter of fact, you got hired on. It wasn't a problem. You got hired on.
You got hired on 2 years after. If you felt that way, you shouldn't have took that fucking job.
And if it's repeated, as we said earlier, if it's repeated as just the Dave Chappelle special you're talking about, you came on after like the first 4.
So what's your issue here, ma'am?
Well, first 2 at least.
But you still came on to somewhere where you felt that not white trans people were being subjected and disrespected, but black trans people were being subjected and disrespected. You still took that job. Which leads me to ask the question, did you take that job with undermining in mind?
Undermining, I would say yes, because going back to Dave's point, even then, you're still not doing it right. If it was really that big of a problem, you would have quit and not accepted money from a company.
You would have never took the job.
No, but even if you discover that stuff or you feel that way afterwards, why are you still there and why are you still waiting on your check?
Well, here's the problem with that. Not even you need to quit or not accept money. We all know what Netflix is. We've all seen and or heard the news articles about Dave Chappelle stand-ups since 2017 is everywhere. Him and the beef that the community has against him is everywhere. So all of this is public knowledge to you. You are walking into this situation to undermine.
That's a great point.
There is a way to go about making a difference and making a change. But what you cannot and should not be allowed to do is throw somebody else out of your community under the bus to perpetuate what it is that you're going for.
Is that why niggas never made it?
Never.
And And I don't see.
I think we lack the audacity.
And not just that, because I don't see no black people saying, "Hey, I don't feel oppressed by Dave." I do on like Facebook and shit like that.
At the end of the day, like the only people I've seen like black people wise do that is black women.
I don't feel oppressed by him.
Well, you are a sect of white women. Well, black women. Sorry, or both actually.
And I don't feel oppressed.
So,
and I get what he say about bitches, because I am a bitch of the bitches for the bitches.
Excuse me. But is it different?
That means I'm out here spitting truth,
lies,
all truths, and somebody better tell it.
But it's different from somebody outside of the community calling you that. But let's just be honest with each other here. It's all a fucking popularity contest. Because Dave Chappelle can walk around calling women bitches, and it's Dave. But let me walk around, these bitches. Oh, what? You don't love black women? Do you have a mama? Do you this? It's a popularity contest. If they fuck with
and
you,
I take that, but that is the whole reason why the word bitch don't annoy me.
Because you keep it.
It's level.
Shut up, bitch.
Shout out to O'Shea.
Rack City, bitch. All day. All day.
We won't speak about O'Shea, because O'Shea out here are doing things too.
We'll get into his
No, we don't talk about that. No,
okay.
No.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
So the very next day, on the 13th, boy.
God damn. It's been a busy month, y'all. October ain't even over.
So Ted Sarandos, Netflix CEO, defends Dave by saying, in quote, content on screen doesn't directly translate to real world harm. Yeah, that's kind of
that ain't true.
Also brings in Hannah Gadsby as an example to show that Netflix has diversity.
My favorite Netflix comedian, Nate Bargatze.
I
don't know the player.
I showed him to you. You laughed.
No, I didn't.
You laughed.
Like once.
I chuckled slightly.
But when I watched Bill Burr, bud,
we died.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Bill Burr is kind of funny, yeah.
Then the next day, on the 14th,
You apologize?
No.
That was 2 days later.
Hannah Gadsby speaks out. So he says, or she says,
It's Hannah, yes.
Yeah, it's Hannah, yeah.
She's
a lesbian.
She's
a lesbian.
Yes.
A lesbian fellow?
No, because she's she's a lesbian. Because I'm thinking like, we talking about like the
Is she a dude girl or is she a girl?
A lesbian.
He knows
a
what
masculine female.
Yes. Is she a lesbian fellow or
I don't know.
Oh, okay. A masculine woman.
Okay.
I think she wears suits and wears glasses.
I'm just trying to stay out of. I'm trying to stay out of the judgmental.
Oh, I've seen her. Ew. I mean,
editing.
I ain't editing shit. Hey, watch your tone, nigga. Let this be the last time. Apologize to Hannah.
I'm sorry, Sam J.
Who? Who?
It's my favorite lesbian comedian. She's black. She's got some Netflix stand-ups too.
Sam J. That's the one with the HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
She's hilarious.
Yes, especially when she get there.
She did the nigga anthem.
Salute for that one. That was funny.
So Hannah responds, I would prefer if you didn't drag my name into your mess. Now I have to deal with even more of the hate and anger that Dave Chappelle's fans like to unleash on me every time Dave gets 20 million to process his emotionally stunted partial worldview. End quote.
Or excuse me for my stunted partial worldview
as
a black man.
That is attack. That is
no. I want to address this because I didn't think about this till right now. Okay, your shunted partial worldview.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't that be you also if you're from Australia?
She's from Australia?
Yes, she is.
So you only know about what you know about.
Okay.
So she's from what is that? Tasmania.
That's in Australia.
I know that, but I'm saying it's the island off. So she's not with
that makes it even worse.
That's why I said that.
Yeah, that makes
it on the island.
So no, I'm gonna be that. I'm gonna play au contrarian.
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna take it a different angle. I perceive that as kind of racist. The nerve of you, Hannah, to come here talking about a black man who's been around the world
and
but has also fought the same fight for our people for years, for decades. It's okay to him. I hear this mostly stuntedness when he had the Dave Chappelle show, when he quit that, when he felt that what he was doing was hurting his people. I didn't hear that back then. I didn't hear a emotionally stunted when
and that's not even emotionally stunted, honey. That's full grown growth to walk away from 50 mil.
Yeah, but even I'll take that part out of it. Just because they don't agree with you, or as a comedian, you know the art of comedy. You might not agree with it, but at the end of the day, it's still a certain art to it.
Ask who she studied under.
Who did she study under? Oh, I thought you knew off the top yet. So when you come at it from that angle, so you're not going to take the comedian route because you should understand Dave as a comedian. You don't. Okay, cool. You don't understand his view
of the world because he is a black man.
Or he's emotionally stunted. Okay, cool. But what he's been saying, this is why I think that way, is because as a black man, I am jealous of your movement because we did not get the same results. So the nerve of you to turn back around and say, oh, you're emotionally stunted worldview, because I still have not gotten what us as a people should have gotten. We still walk around with a stigma. So yes, we're stunted because we're not allowed to grow. So fuck you, Hannah, and your racist ways.
I would also ask, Hannah, on that island that you grew up on, how are you guys doing with your indigenous Aborigine problem?
The nerve.
So you out here reading them history books, right? For college.
For college. They took that out yet? they critical yet?
Boy, I'm gonna take that class, just BT dubs.
Which one on
the CRT? Hell yeah.
Yeah. What are they talking about in there?
Yeah,
what's going on here?
I gotta wait till 2023 though, when I'm in my graduate classes.
Oh, that's that high level shit.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, continue.
So the very next day,
damn nigga,
the 15th, so the leader of the trans walkout is fired. A black trans employee who helmed the walkout. Now this is where I said I thought it was the sister.
I thought it was a
pregnant sister.
Black pregnant lady.
That's what I thought.
That's what I saw too.
But as I'm reading these headlines and reading these stories, Mandela effect.
I think they got you.
Oh, they got you. So that's what they got that. And then on the 20th, they had to walk out. And then on the 22nd, A. Preston, organizer for the walkout, was exposed with past tweets of hate. So let me read some of these tweets that I found. Boy. Asian hoes act like they won't get karate chop in they motherfucking throat.
Wait.
Whoa. That took me way off guard there. I was not ready for that.
I said tweets of hate.
No. Okay, good.
So this is A. Preston's the Twitter.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
So let me see what's it. Latino and Asian businesses need to stop being rude and fucking disrespectful. And I know it's a lot to ask in California, but speak fucking English.
Somebody got you.
They got me?
Yeah,
they got
somebody
me?
got you.
Netflix.
It's Essence.
On the 15th, which is the same date that I just said.
I got you covered.
Netflix fires black pregnant organizer of trans employee walkout.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You got to put in specific words.
But then when you pulled it up, it said...
Yeah, when I pulled it up, it was the black trans... Where's the 15th at? The leader of the trans walkout is fired. A black trans employee who helmed the walkout.
Yep, it is a black pregnant woman.
Yeah, because I was listening to my regular shows and they was breaking it down and they were asking the question like, why are you heading this? You're not a part of that movement.
Where's your dog?
Yeah, why are you heading it and you pregnant and you got fired?
Hashtag where's your fucking dog?
So if they were incorrect and it ended up being a black trans a woman, then hey, she knew where her dog was. A black pregnant woman wouldn't do that because her priorities are with her family.
Should be.
So back to A. Preston and her tweets. Just broke my phone on this Asian bitch's head. I have Asian friends, but they some motherfucking weirdos sometimes.
Why'd you read it like that? Weirdos sometimes. And this is the one who led the walkout.
Yeah, she was the organizer.
Oh, she. Oh, this is she.
Or trans.
This is the black. Wait, black trans.
No. This is someone else. I would assume.
How many leaders was it?
Well, it could be somebody else, but it could have said A. Preston, organizer for the walkout.
An organizer, one of the organizers.
So it could be two different people, or it could be the one that got fired. But
either way,
yeah.
So all I'm saying is, I bet he feels a certain type of way. I'm sorry, he or she is it trans?
I didn't get specifics.
But that person feels
they
feel very stupid because low key he can be mad or they can be mad and say, "Hey, I was just joking."
Oh, but get this. This was the excuse afterwards.
I
was doing a lot of meth at that time.
I'm about to go to bed.
I'm sorry.
I'm about to go to bed.
And then one dude I said I was listening to that.
For real. No,
like, that's a lot of meth.
For real. That was for real. That was the answer. Yeah. No, for real.
Yeah.
Meth.
I'm about to go to bed. Like, for real.
So obviously clean it up.
So Netflix is not.
So you clean up the mess with meth.
There's a lot of tweets though. I just read like 3 tweets.
When you're meth, you be up.
I'm all the way up.
Your mind's everywhere. You're racing. Your mind racing.
But at the same time, you cannot blame the meth because these are thoughts in your head.
Yep, that just come out
there before.
Mm-hmm.
So who conditioned you, bud?
It was coming out faster now.
Right. So then. So on the 25th, that's when all hell Chappelle responds to the criticism with the that clip, that 5-minute clip, where he spoke about this being about corporate interest and what he can and cannot say.
Mm-hmm.
Number one. Then he's talked about the documentary that he's been pushing, that's been getting. He's not being invited, and they pretty much cut any type of support for his film, his documentary, which pretty much he was talking about during the time when he was out in the cornfields with the homies, and they were doing the those shows like 846.
He was rolling with the homies. Hey Dave, hey baby,
we gonna fuck with you.
Hey, sell that shit out your trunk, homie.
Yeah,
Master P made an empire out of it.
He had to hook up.
Holla if you hear me. I don't wanna go living without you. You say bye, bye, bye. Then take my heart with you. Can't go.
What did that have to do with
nothing? Hey, that's got the same to do with that black pregnant woman leading a trans walkout.
Bringing it back around.
Full circle.
Hey, this one in them ones.
Full circle, boy.
Hey, Dre.
Shut up, bitch.
Shout out to O'Shea.
Gave birth to this game. Shut the fuck up.
You did nothing.
But this is also the clip where he made his
demand. That nigga said Malcolm X with a check.
Shut up, bitch.
No disrespect.
Respectfully.
As
Javier would say. Wait, respectfully.
Wait. Nas said that?
No.
That was
Dre said that at the end. Malcolm X with a check. Close curtain, bitch.
Oh, yeah. That's disrespectfully.
Stretch marks from this off. Gave birth to
this. But yeah, this is the same clip where he gave his list of conditions. Where he said, hey, I set the time and the place for us to have this conversation. Number 2, y'all got to watch the special from beginning to end before we have this discussion. And then last but not least, Hannah Gadsby is not funny. Y'all have to admit Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
In which Hannah got mad as fuck.
So
probably went on a meth-filled rant.
It wasn't me.
You saw the meth on the counter.
For the things I've done to my mother, I'm sorry. Oh.
And tell Netflix I'm methed up.
Oh. So on the 28th, goddamn, Caitlyn Jenner stepped in the jam.
Hey, boy.
So Caitlyn Jenner stepped in the jam. So she was backing Dave. She said he's 100% right. This isn't about the LGBTQ community. It's about woke cancel culture running amok, trying to silence free speech. We must never yield or bow to those who wish to stop us from speaking our minds.
First of all, Caitlyn sounds just like me.
And she got one of the worst jokes on there.
Well, I mean, Caitlyn sounds like me, so you can put some more bass in your voice.
Okay.
Caitlyn still has all her parts.
Okay.
That's just his reading voice and other people's.
Yeah, everybody has the same voice, but you wasn't talking about how each voice sounds the same, but different niggas I'm talking about.
I keep asking you what's going on with your voice. You're not listening. You're not listening to me. That's not new. But
slip that one in there.
Caitlyn is one of those people to whom I question why even change. But that is also one of the people who can like speak to with what Daphne said, having a human experience. Mm-hmm. Because nothing about Caitlyn changed really, except for the name
and outward appearance
and physically. Mm-hmm. Thought process didn't really change. Doesn't have a desire to change all of her body parts. Mm-hmm. She still thinks very conservatively. Mm-hmm. But she understands jokes and she understands that people are still people.
That's fair.
If you're going to give credence to anybody, that would be a person to listen to. Hear me out. That is a person having a human experience.
As Dave Chappelle said.
And what is more human than the struggle for self-identity?
Very true.
God damn, I'm killing this philosophy, y'all. Yes.
Who put you through college?
So as Dave Chappelle said, I believe you, bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as of today, this is the last one. As of today, it's still going, boy. October, boy.
30th.
This is the end of the Jason months, boy. October. So the 30th.
Spooky season.
Wait, before you do that, do we have the This is the only time, or the last time this year will be
Appropriate.
Appropriate and relevant.
Appropriate.
Glad I remember that. Sorry, continue on.
So as of today, a Netflix employee and a former staffer have filed a labor complaint against Netflix, accusing the streaming giant of retaliating against them for trying to speak out against its handling of controversy surrounding Dave's special.
Did their check cut or something? How's that cut?
I think they got cut.
Cut it out?
Mm-hmm. I think they were the fired employees. Are these the people talking?
They show up for work every single day.
Okay, so can I ask a question?
Well, it's an employee and a former staffer.
Okay, so somebody still lives, somebody who's still
there.
So where's your dog? Just because your friend got fired, like I watch my friends lose their jobs all the time.
Regularly.
That's not none of my business. I'm still employed. First, can I ask a question? Did you bitches unionize before you staged a walkout? Secondly, I don't think you really looked at the size of your opponent. Every David and Goliath story don't turn out the way the one in the Bible did.
Yeah, David get killed sometimes.
Sometimes you get stepped on, squashed.
Boy, get your ass on, boy.
Got squozed.
Squoze.
Or thrown, boy. Get your motherfucking ass on.
So I don't think you properly sized up your opponent. I think that you saw, this is a transgender issue. I'm going to be able to just float and get whatever I want based off of that.
I got a story about that.
Thinking that people are going to yield to you because of that. But if you want inclusion, you got to understand that what makes you special doesn't make you singular.
So that's like saying, just because you're special doesn't mean I'm excluded.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
What makes you special does not make you singular. You are special because you are you, but you are not singular, and you are not devoid of facing the same consequences as everybody else who tries to pull a walk out.
True.
Oh, walk it out. Don't. So, the story you got?
You said you had a story.
No, I said
like
off,
two
off,
Oh,
off
he said off air.
Oh, okay, I got you. Did you not hear what I just said?
We're doing really good with our verbiage and not getting canceled. He said he wants to save it till after the show.
Oh, yeah, that's the story. Yes, that's
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that part.
But no, it's about my verbiage or anything like that. It's just what happened.
So we can go ahead and get into segment 2, closing the cancel culture, where we talk about the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to open by putting a definition out there.
Okay.
Context. What is a phobia?
A fear of.
Fear of, yeah.
A phobia is a type of anxiety disorder defined by a persistent and excessive fear of an object or situation.
Mm-hmm.
Persistent and excessive fear.
Persistent and excessive.
Fear.
Persistent. Y'all are persistently pushing this agenda. Excessively.
Was there a
trying to create a fear campaign?
There it is. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, it's usually us.
No. I was trying to
want to jump in sometimes. I want to be a part.
No, I was thinking a level deeper because I was thinking of not saying y'all not deep. I'm saying
that's cool.
Okay,
we know we
cool.
deep. Goddamn.
We already know you don't be around for the conversations that we have. That and I did this to you. You don't be around for these conversations. Boo boo. You don't be around for the deep ass conversations we have that be hours and hours and hours for no fucking reason.
I don't need your validation, nigga. I know I'm deep.
Because self-validation.
So what do they mean by the fear aspect?
Like we're scared of. Like, oh man,
Okay.
oh no, please don't come over here.
So my question is, ooh, let's have some fun with this.
I would love to.
Okay, so boom. What does Dave fear?
White people.
What do they think Dave fears?
White trans people.
Or just trans people.
Just trans people. So if you have an excessive fear, why is there a fear?
Because you're persistently pushing this agenda. Freddie Gibbs said, and I quote,
Frederick Gibbs. What's quoted?
Right, let me give this man some props. Frederick Gibbs said, and I quote,
better be on point too, but
never let the industry demasculinize me. I think they're trying to push a demasculinization on Dave. He may be the only black actor left that has never done a demasculinizing act.
Somebody dug down in the deep wells, boy.
Oh, what'd they find?
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
No.
No.
He was on a radio show. He was dressed up as Wanda Sykes. He was dressed up as a woman.
But Wanda Sykes dressed up like a dude.
This is like back in the day. Like we talking like
Biggie shirt, like Biggie Shorty.
No, he had the wig on.
But she had like a high top fade afro.
No, this was.
Was Wanda Sykes had like a?
Well, I don't think it was Wanda. No, it wasn't Wanda Sykes. It was the Howard Stern's
Robin.
Yeah, Robin, not Wanda.
But Robin has dreads.
Well, she had dreads at one point, but
and she always dresses like a dude. She doesn't wear dresses.
She might wear a t-shirt like a little blazer or something. I see what you're saying, but yeah, that's a I get it. Slight reach.
It's
we're talking about wearing a dress.
Yes.
Like you come out here with dressing like
I'm talking about a Big Mama's house.
They be like, all right, nigga.
I'm talking about a Big Mama's house, or how they paraded Kevin Hart on SNL as the Black Orphan Annie.
Damn, Kev.
I'll find it.
Damn.
I'll find it and show it to you, boy.
There it is.
There go Kev.
So, bam. I'm talking about a blatant demasculinization of him to where it'll pop up immediately. Not that you gotta go search in the deep dark web for.
I was on Boxed In. It was on Boxed In.
That's the closer we get to the dark web.
Them niggas find everything.
Somebody got it.
But even on his show, he didn't wear a dress.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, well, you shouldn't. It's his show. You shouldn't have to wear a dress on his own show.
Right. I would go as far as.
They did say they was trying to make him wear a dress for Blue Streak, yeah.
And he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Martin.
So, I think it is a mirror. You're saying that he's afraid of you. When in all reality, I think that y'all are afraid of him. He's a legit image of a strong black male character.
That's very interesting, especially in comedy, because that's not since Eddie, have we really had that on a superstar scale? You can have your Patrice O'Neals and all that kind of
right, but I mean on a out of there type of scale.
Yeah, that's like it was what before Dave, it was Kev. Well, first it was Dave, now it was Kev, then it was Dave before that, then it was Chris, it was Eddie. Oh, sorry, Martin.
Chris,
and Eddie, yeah. So
Chris who? Tucker?
Rock.
Oh, okay.
So out of all those, Eddie would be like one of the stronger ones.
But even Eddie bowed.
I
saw that with Coming to America too.
That nigga bowed with Golden Child.
I loved the Golden Child. I thought that movie. I mean, it was
No,
the
no.
80s. It was camp. I loved it.
No, I wasn't being funny on that one. But he really bowed with I would say Nutty Professor.
I would say Nutty Professor the Clumps was the bowing.
That was he needed another check. Shit, Metro didn't work.
He had too many
Holy
kids.
Man didn't work. About her date the Spice Girls and shit.
A million words would be a bowing.
1,000 words.
Same difference. There was a word limit.
Word limit of 999,000 words. Big difference. No, I got you. I didn't talk about that.
But I mean, there was a bowing.
What was that movie where you played like Eddie Banks or Mr. Banks or whatever? Saving Mr. Banks.
Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, you were doing some weird ass. Anyway, continue on. Not about
But
that.
there was a bowing.
Yeah.
Dave has yet to yield. What did Black Panther say? I did not yield.
We don't do that here.
And I did not
We don't
yield.
here.
And I am not dead yet.
Oh, he came back. I did not yield.
I am not dead. And as you can see, I did not yield.
Not fair. I've been king for like 3 days now. Nigga.
Hey, that nigga ruined a lot of shit in 3 days.
Hey, I just put 2 sheets on the bed. Come on, man.
Lifted one of the elder ladies up.
Hey, choked her. Lit your in-house garden on fire. Like this nigga, he been running amok.
So if he'd have made it the day before, but
Nigga ain't win you.
Nigga burnt all my weed.
can't even.
I'm a purple Urkel.
And Ciroc gone. Drank all of
He
it.
drank all of it.
Now we can't get to the answer.
Hey, what's
Can't see my daddy.
what's the black ninja bitches' names?
Oh, goddamn.
They drank. He got them all drunk. Now they out here wilding.
pregnant.
I bet your loyalty is with the king now. Ain't it?
Oh God. Okay.
Out here with them Baku blowing backs out.
Brought him down from the mountain. I'm strictly vegetarian, but you about to eat this.
The Cooters. So yeah,
Who's next?
So the cooties. He talked about the cooties. No, I'm going shifting back over there.
No, I got it.
David. King David.
I said who's next?
So the cooties saying like a lot of niggas had to die to get the show off.
Oh yeah, I thought that was
I thought that was hilarious.
It was funny. It really think about it. Where's the outrage?
Where's the outrage?
And when he talked about the when he said he was getting stronger, he got it.
Oh yeah, he's talking about Magic Johnson COVID.
So yeah, he said he was getting stronger. And then he transitioned over to the Asian hate, where Asians was getting whooped by black people. Then he's like, yeah, I feel like this is what's going on inside of my body.
So Asian group push their button. All I felt he was doing the whole like that part, he was pushing everybody's button.
I said this. I feel like he touched every community.
No child left behind.
No child left behind.
So now this he should have been on tour, going to the museums and giving an apology with Space Jams.
They've got lasers.
That was I heard that. I was like, oh, like I think no. I watched the special after all the controversy came out. So after I was watching the show, I was like,
that's one of them ones.
Like that's lit by. Oh, okay. Like
we saw what happened to Nick.
Everything is cool. It's cool to be racist. It's cool to touch all of these different racial communities.
Is it well, I can't even say that. Because if I was to say they let that slide by, then you brought up the Nick Cannon situation.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because it's under the guise of a joke while Nick Cannon's was like, oh, these are facts?
We're doing the history, bro.
Yeah. But if you listen to how Dave said it,
it's more so fantasy, sci-fi type.
No, listen to what he was saying. He was basically saying like, they left Earth because, what they said? No, I was the second one. We based on about how they went through all the oppression, blah, 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 blah. They came back to oppress the people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So he kind of did that same thing, but nobody said nothing about that part.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The priest.
Can I throw a thought out there that may
I might not catch it. Go ahead.
get people mad at me?
No, don't.
Wouldn't.
Hey, we'll talk about it off here.
I don't believe that the community knows a lot of history.
Or you say the ones that are jumping out of the window
Don't know a lot of history.
Okay, I see what you're saying as far as that.
Because there's a lot of historical aspects that are brought up and brought in as jokes.
Stonewall.
The oppression before they flew out of space. Holocaust. The oppression of slaves to owning slaves. The oppression of Asians in the internment camps here in America. I don't think they know those things.
No, they know.
They call for it.
No, they know. So it's more so
I think
trying to keep the
I
image.
think their only history that they're concerned with would be like something like Stonewall.
But the point is that they have to keep theirs at the forefront, and you can't bring other people because that pretty much takes away from yours. So you have to keep pushing yours. So it can't be looked upon as an act. So I don't think they don't know. It's just like, nah, this is the focus, and we just gonna focus on this. Don't care about anything else because this is the agenda, and this is the agenda that's gonna get us where we need to get.
If you were smart, a lot of the members in your community have grandparents who are alive who might have been in an internment camp here in America. Use that. You get what I'm saying? Use that. Come to understand that oppression from all of the different groups that are in your community.
But then again, it's just only certain people that's jumping out the window, which ties back to possible an agenda. So it's like we can't say all of them, but it's like it's always a select few, whether it be dealing with them or dealing with what we're talking about now with the transgender community or the LGBTQ community or whatever. It's like there's a few people that'll jump out the window and then they'll have us believing that.
Well, you can't separate those two. They're together.
What?
The transgender community and the LGBTQ community, they're all one community.
No, I get that, but I'm saying like if it's a problem with lesbian, if it's a problem with like lesbianism.
The car.
I didn't want to say that, but yeah, the car.
The car.
But yeah, if it's something like if someone's going at like the lesbians, it'll be them that's attacking somebody jumping out the window from that sector, and then if it's a trans situation, then they'll have a representative from that community doing that. So I'm not separating. I'm just saying it'll be a few people jumping out the window. Well, I think there's a
division within that community itself as well.
Right. So. But I'm just saying, like, mainstream media have us believe that it's generalized, like it's a everyone feels this way, but it's like it's just those few people.
Well, they will make it seem like that, or are they conditioning people to feel that way?
I think it's conditioning.
So whenever someone goes against that, then it becomes oh yeah, you're weird. Everybody feels this way. Then. People that really don't know, they're like, oh yeah, that sounds about right. And
yeah, just like what Dave was talking about in the show, where it was like people will come up to him like, and these are people that don't have platforms, everyday people, and then they'll start throwing those buzzwords out there. So that, speaking to what you were saying, like, yeah, that is true. Conditioning the people to play it out amongst society.
I'm with it. I like it.
I'ma fuck with you.
All right, I'ma fuck with you. Hey, Tara, fuck going on?
So him negotiating the release of the baby. Killed a nigga in Walmart. Career soared. Made remarks about the LGBTQ community. Canceled. Life versus feelings.
So
Feelings aren't fact,
but feelings are valid because I put it like this.
If someone slapped me and I feel like slapping the shit back out of them, is my feelings valid?
Yeah, they slap shit out of you.
Yeah, because your face is feeling hurt.
Yes, and that's a fact. No, but
It's a fact. I'm gonna think you a bitch if you don't hit him back.
It is.
So the one thing that I found interesting too, when you start talking about the feelings aspect. So we're on this big mental health kick. Oh, you gotta watch out for your mental health, sis. Hey, make sure you check in on your people. You never know. Blah, blah, blah. Didn't the baby just lose his brother to suicide?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's not all mentally there. He's been working like crazy, doing all that stuff.
Avoidance.
Avoided. So did he like fall or something like that? Like right before that happened. So
his dad died when his first album was released.
So he's dealing with a lot of grief, a lot of trauma.
And you didn't kill somebody. That's not like
that's not.
We don't do that every day type shit. Like we don't just go around popping people.
Yeah. So he's dealing with a lot of traumatic experience in the last 4 or 5 years. A lot going on. Was it more? Well, I think they were more so mad because he wouldn't apologize until like a week later, and then that's when the black community got mad, or like certain people in the community got mad. Like, why do you apologize? And then that's when black men are homophobic. That's when that came out.
Phobia is a type of anxiety disorder defined by a persistent and excessive fear of an object or situation.
So boom, let me tell you from what I observed, why black men were actually mad about that. It wasn't about what he said. It was about the same reason why Kevin Hart is like, hey, stand on your shit. We go through our own shit that we have to let go. We all make mistakes. Why can't y'all let it go?
Mm-hmm.
But we were always held to that certain standard. Mm-hmm. So that's why when they make it a situation, hey, bro, don't bow down. We will, well, they didn't really support, but we will support you. But when it's a Rolling Loud, a lot of Palooza, and all, they'll start taking the money away.
Because they're not black owned.
Of course.
Well, shit, most of these black owners, they'll cut you too if their money start getting affected by it.
Yeah, because the black owners cut you because their money still comes from
white people.
Yeah. So
spacemen.
Space Jams.
I forgot what we was calling.
Spaceman. But so that's why a lot of black people were mad, because they feel like we're the one, what Dave stands for, the black man that is out here just like live every single day. We have to tiptoe around. We're Clifford the big black niggers walking around here just trying to shrink ourselves to be in this in this society and everything.
Finite world.
Yes. Get on elevators, white people, and then
clutching pearls and purses.
And then now you got the black women. So it's like, let's go stand in our corner.
Shut up, bitch.
Thanks, Ice Cube.
Ice Cubby.
So it's a frustration, and I think that was prevented all through Dave Chappelle's special, was basically saying, hey, where is our protection? When like you said, your inclusion does not mean my exclusion. So I understood where Dave was coming from that aspect. To wrap that point up in a bow.
Got you. But then you can say, blame it on meth and you good.
If we blame it on weed, then it's like all y'all niggas are weed heads.
Sha'Carri Richardson is a prime example of that.
They were miracles on me. Where is she at?
After being the last, coming in last place, nigga, I don't know.
Yeah, they got her the fuck out of here.
She got herself out.
You know why she was smoking weed?
Because her mom died.
Trauma. Once again, how we were held to a different standard. We're supposed to be stronger.
Because we've been through more as a race.
Okay, that's great. So why? That's like saying, hey, oh yeah, you look tired. You've been lifting thousands of pounds. Hey, here's 100 more. You
That's
can do
exactly.
it. You can do it.
That's exactly the viewpoint.
Instead of someone say, "Hey,
That's
let me take 500 off of you."
So what's her name again? Heather, Hannah.
Hannah
Gatsby.
There's that worldview. Take a gander at that. Is that a unmature? What you call it?
Oh, a stunted
emotional worldview.
Right.
When your race has been forced to be the strongest race mentally, physically, and emotionally, instead of saying, hey, I know niggas get tired every once in a while, take a load off, another load is given to you. That doesn't happen to you as a white woman from Australia.
And then even that was somewhat addressed. So Hannah, get the fuck out of here. Even with the whole Sojourner Truth and Susan B. Anthony situation. Tie it back to what he was saying. Don't try to throw us in there to get your support, but you don't really give a fuck about it.
I'm reading about that now in my history class.
Look at you on point. How life comes together.
This shit is actually seeming to flow. So I'm reading
it happens like that.
The shit's wild.
Yeah, it makes
like
you
this shit is wild.
Ready to go.
Yeah, this shit is wild. This shit's
well, it ties into
lining up.
It ties into the intuition for season 6, where we would plan it out and everything falls into place. So.
I mean, we pretty well planned this, and look at all that shit panned out the way it did for this season.
And then on
cause I was saying like, we're doing the Dave Chappelle show too late.
Yeah,
I did say that,
but we're not.
Yeah,
right.
So it still worked out. Yeah,
you didn't want to do the Jermaine Dupri. Look at all the shit that happened around that.
Can we leave that one in the past?
But
let's go.
What the fuck were we talking about?
Hannah.
Oh, Hannah. And so when they took the views of, and then let's be clear, the viewpoint they were looking for from enslaved women was for the abolitionist political push. It wasn't even for women's rights.
Yeah. So they're still
the abolitionists were looking to use them for what they called immediatarianism, which was the release of slaves immediately. Not for them to start receiving women's rights or even with a goal in mind after they were all freed.
Even at the end of the day, if you really think about it, the point of freeing the slaves was to weaken the South, business-wise.
The South was already weak, though.
But you take the slaves away.
It's done.
And then you can go overtake the land.
Yep.
And do what you want to do with it.
Yep.
It's all the same shit.
Yep.
Capitalism.
Capitalism.
So so
the Prince always pulled out the future.
Hey, that's what he pulled out the future counterpart. That was on Prince's album.
Capitalism. It wasn't controversy. It was capitalism, right? In that reality,
because capitalism was thriving. Prince probably owned a bank.
No, it's probably a communist community. They're talking about capitalism.
That's what we need. Can't get my music out.
My music.
I'm very talented. I'm a genius.
I gotta go to another bitch to get these songs heard.
He bought that out of Prince's trunk.
He still shit out of the trunk
on 125th. He wasn't in Minneapolis. He was off of 125th in
and his name wasn't Prince. His name was Kang.
That nigga laying on the blanket
with his CDs laid out on a blanket. Prance.
That nigga selling CDs and sandwiches.
Roger. My name is Roger.
Roger Delta.
No, that nigga's name is King. Kang Rogers.
Kang Rogers.
Off 125th.
Who's next?
So, 2 questions. Can a gay person be racist? And what was the second one? Well, gays are minorities until it's time to be white again.
Man, the same joke. Somebody made that exact same joke, but a different way.
Second one wasn't a question. It was a...
Well, no, from the show.
Right.
Because when he said it, I was trying to remember who did that joke. It wasn't that Paul Mooney. Well, Paul Mooney did say, he was like, everybody will be a nigga until it's time to be a nigga. But I thought somebody had a whole joke about that shit. And it kind of lined it up like, oh, I was doing it, boo, and then they called the cops.
Yeah.
So I gotta remember who did that joke. So I won't say it's a 10-4 on Dave's, but the whole everybody want to be a nigga
until it's time to be a nigga.
That was the same premise, but broken down.
Gotcha.
Everybody wants to be a minority and be oppressed until it's time to actually be oppressed and suffer.
Yeah, and that was his whole argument, was that these we call them bitch ass niggas because like y'all ain't going through nothing. Like the Stonewall, like they fought. They
went through something.
Mm-hmm. So, but is that more of an attack on the millennial aspect of it? Like
I feel like they're all entitled at this point.
So this is like a generation, Generation X versus a millennial kind of argument tied in with race and gender. Very interesting.
Because back in the Stonewall days, even up until the late 80s, 90s, when that whole community was coming together over AIDS, HIV, that they were labeling only as a gay disease. You didn't get it if you were straight unless you used drugs.
Or if you had a blood transfusion. But
that came out, that was later.
That's Arthur.
That was later.
Arthur Ashe.
Not just Arthur. A couple other famous people.
But that was like the first major one.
Yeah. But later. You know what I mean? Initially, it was gay people and blacks.
Monkeys. Coming from monkeys.
Racist.
I mean, it hits though.
Yeah.
The monkeys in Africa gave it to the monkeys in America. And the monkeys in America are all shifty, so they're probably all gay, blah, blah, blah. So it turned into a black and gay virus. You ever watching the band plays on? This is all
I haven't seen that
actual.
I was a kid.
This is all actual language from that movie.
I can watch that.
Didn't I make you watch the end of that a couple years ago?
Shout out to HBO. That was the HBO movie, right?
Yeah.
HBO had some fire movies. I remember that. And but the one with Okuba. It came out like they was like about a disease, and they had marked the people who had it.
Outbreak.
But yeah, so yeah,
I ain't seen that in so long.
Yeah, HBO has some fire movies.
HBO had them hits.
That 5 Heartbeats showed on HBO. That's how we got it on that tape. It was on the same tape as Outbreak.
I remember.
Tie that back around.
Look at that. Was
Gus Kubacek on that too?
No, Gus Kubacek. Where did that one come from? That was like a random tape. That might be like a random granny tape.
Oh, okay.
Either that or a random granny tape. Or, off of what though?
I don't know. I just threw it in there.
Okay.
What were we saying?
Oh, they came together. It wasn't exclusionary to race.
Okay.
Whereas now the community's a little exclusionary to race. Which leads to your inclusion does not mean my exclusion. Just because your wanna be down ass got in doesn't mean that you get to erase and replace everything that makes me.
So I just thought about something. I would akin all of this to we're all standing in the line for our. You know what? I thought of a great like a sketch.
Come on, everybody. Show them that you're talented.
We put this out here in the universe. Somebody uses this shit. You know where it came from. Boom. So we're all standing we're all standing in line for our reparations in like our DMV type of spot. So imagine Dave Chappelle as the representation of the of the niggas.
There's pores around.
Yes.
Watch out, people.
Yeah. So we're standing in line. All these people are coming in. Let's say like let's say recently the Asians came in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got we had an appointment. We got the law to pass the agency the Asian hate laws." And black people sit there like, so they're like, "Hey, so oh, you wait in line. We're gonna get to you. We get you. We haven't called your number yet." Then the trans community comes in. Oh, these people talking crazy. Oh yeah. We'll take care of you. They're like, wait, what the hell? Like I've been sitting here. Hey, calm down. like
no need to get hostile. You get put out of here now.
Which actually leads to another point. The Asian community got paid out for being in internment camps.
The Jewish community got reparations for Holocaust.
The natives got the casinos.
Native Americans got the casinos and the land.
What'd we get?
You get to work here.
No, we got tortured. We got tortured, man.
You get civil
We're
rights.
still getting tortured.
No,
You got civil rights.
So what'd we get?
Civil rights, nigga.
Yeah, civil rights included other because if you look at minorities,
yes,
it didn't say blacks. It said minorities, which included women. It included other races as well. So it wasn't excluded.
It wasn't
inclusive
inclusionary of only black people.
Did you get it?
It wasn't exclusionary.
Did you get it though?
I did get it.
You got it.
I got it.
That's what you asked for, right?
Good.
Civil rights. Yeah, civil rights movement.
That ain't what I asked for.
But who was paying?
Why call civil rights?
Who was paying to push that movement though?
The Space Jams.
No, this is before.
I can't do this. Yeah, who was paying back then?
Upper elite.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so it's like you
paying, mean Rocky now?
You paying for an agenda. So it's like that's why they wasn't heavy with the Malcolm X or the Nation of Islam with the segregation. Like we was for segregation. Like we don't need to be around them. We don't need to integrate.
And they burned everything of ours that was great. That would make us less likely.
But I'm saying like in regards to like there was a strong push to include and integrate.
No, I'm saying with
Black Wall
that
Street.
statement,
if I may,
they burned everything that would have kept us exclusionary. Everything that would have stopped us from being for
or on the same level
desegregation.
Let's do it like this. Caucasian people out there. If you really want to know why black people don't just pick themselves up off their bootstraps,
you better pick yourself up.
Oh, so we're now getting the 100-year anniversary of the Tulsa massacre.
Mm-hmm.
But there was hundreds upon hundreds of other towns that were burned to the ground that were terrorized. So,
Philly in the 70s.
But let's talk about this. Let's add this extra thing to it. I just said many a series. Tulsa was bombed, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Are we wrong to feel that white people were terrorizing us?
No.
Which will make white people the terrorists?
White people have never seen Rosewood.
So what is going back to Hannah. Sorry, Hannah, you're going to get all the smoke today. So our emotional stuntedness, do you even know the history of how we got here and why we cannot be emotionally grown like you, Hannah?
No, because her people in Australia are still doing that to indigenous Aborigines there.
So once again, these conversations are not really about what they're, well, these are my opinions. These are my opinions only. And not about what they're saying it is an underlying racial aspect to it. And Dave addressed that when he talked about the whole the moving the goalpost of well, I'm a woman now, nigger. Address me as such.
Which brings me to my next question.
Okay.
His problem has only been with white people.
It has.
As he said on the show.
He was very honest.
But as you said, they keep moving the goalpost. Well, you can continue on, sir.
Oh, but so we also go back to what we said earlier, when you throw the black trans people, Dave has never said anything about black trans, except that one thing that could be construed in that manner But how he said it is a wholly different discussion. And I wonder if they want to have that discussion.
They don't. That is something that if you feel is being addressed to the Black trans community, needs to be addressed by the Black trans community. You have no dog here.
You sit over to the sideline, which poses the next question in regards to that.
I hope I remember this correctly.
What would that conversation be like if it did play out? Because they did say that they lied and said that, as Dave said in that 5-minute clip, that they put it out there that he refused to sit down and talk with them. But now he's saying, hey, you're going to do it on my terms. How would that conversation play out?
First of all, it's not going to be.
Are they going to back down?
No.
No,
they're going to find a way to keep villainizing.
I don't think there's going to be a productive conversation.
I don't think so. I don't think it is at all.
I feel like his terms would be, we're going to record this.
Mm-hmm. And they're not going to want, and they're not going to want that.
Right.
Because you can still twist the narrative on something that's recorded. Mm. You can still twist that narrative. But if he does not come across at all attacking or demeaning,
and he has receipts and facts saying, hey, this is what I said. So how did you, then there's a problem. You can't really twist that unless you just hit people with the headlines and people run with it.
Or you still go with that old narrative that's been hitting him since what he said, 88, 89.
No, you can just, because even with the slavery is a choice, people didn't go back and watch that whole thing. They just took that clip.
Right, but I'm saying people will still hit him with that line from that article back in 88, 89. What did he say? That he's punching down. Yes.
Well, not 88, but like 2009.
Yeah.
Okay. 89, goddamn.
I got for a long time. I got my numbers mixed up, but I know what I'm talking about. But still talk about that headline.
Oh, I was going to bring up something. This is where it gets interesting. If you go back to what he was saying, like how that conversation look, do you have it with a white trans?
No.
Okay, so it'll be a mixture.
Okay, so you have it with, let's say, with a Black trans person. What
you have it with Black trans people, and you let them delegate the message.
Then that goes back to I want to say who, because like the Black community has as a whole, not just in the Black trans community, we lack leadership.
Yeah.
So who are they going to go get? Is it going to be one of these white trans people who are standing up for us at Netflix?
No. What about one of the ones from Pose?
It's Black or white? I never watched.
They're Black.
Okay, they're entertainers. That doesn't mean they know what the fuck they talking about. That's another thing we gotta get out.
Well, some of them
we look to our
entertainers.
Some of them be our fucking leaders.
No, but some of them are active.
Where's Ja Rule?
Where's Ja? Some of them are active in that. I'm not talking about Billy Porter. I'm talking about active trans.
Okay, so let's get them together. I think with them having a white trans person coming out is akin to what he was talking about on the show, where he was like, "Oh, well, I'll come in and lead the feminist movement," but you got something like that. Like, I think that was also the coming back around on that was too.
And I see that as you have a white trans person as the lead because
spokesperson.
You're still going to bow to me as a white person.
Mm-hmm. So if you have that, you still bring it back to just like said.
It's full circle.
It's full circle.
Quick question. So given the fact that, we spoke about who are these people jumping out the window? Like, it feels like people are getting paid to do that. So if they do this sit down and have the conversation. So I've seen numerous video clips, interviews and things like that where people in the trans community are bigging him up. So how would you who will select the people to sit and talk with Dave Chappelle if it does happen, or would you have to pay people to come in there with that frame of mind?
Panels. So
I think it'll pay. Probably either you get some. I hope ain't no Donahue type.
My critical reasoning class last semester. Mm-hmm. how do you select people to be on panels who that need to be honest background checks?
There is no honesty, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
When you have a panel, you are there to debate your stance. Any movement off of your stance makes you look weak. So you cannot even go. I put it like this: when I do the podcast, I might joke around, like, I'm listening, blah, 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 but I'm really listening, and I sometimes change my opinions off of what y'all say. Does it make me look weak in the eyes of the viewer?
No,
it doesn't matter.
No,
it's all about, to me, it's all about growth. About me, I'm actually trying to learn.
Well,
and I could be wrong about something.
If you hear new information and your ideas don't change, then you're not growing.
But that's what most people do, because they just want to be right, or they want to be a part of something.
Okay.
So you can't really step off. So we can't have a debate about this, and then you hit me with something that I can't deny, and I'm like, oh yeah, dang, you're right. Then I'm getting excommunicated from my community. Oh, you let him stand up. All you do is say this, or you should have backed down. And then so you get excommunicated from your community. So you have to stand on what you say, even in the face of wrong. So what is the actual point of doing this?
So what would be the right way to go about this if there is no back down from anyone?
There is no right way. There is no reason for Dave to do a sit down unless you want it for content, because nobody's ideas are going to be changed.
Nobody's ideas are really going to be heard.
And nobody's really going to be heard, especially on camera, and everybody's not going to be able to get their points off.
And that's what I said earlier. I feel like being that he pretty much stood firm on like, hey, these are my conditions. You're gonna do it on my time and where I choose and when I choose. You know, the time and the
you
place.
Don't summon me.
Right. So I did mention that earlier. Like, it seems like, you know, he wants to make this public so he can have it for some content. And, you know, based off what you just said, I pretty much was saying the same thing. That's what I feel it's gonna be if it happens. Because now it's like you would have to bow in their eyes. Now you would have to bow to him. So I think it's going to be a back and forth. Like, no, we're not going to do it because we don't feel like you can tell us what to do because you're the one that's disrespecting our community. So I don't think it may not happen. But we shall see. We shall see. So we can get into the Me Too movement not handling their situation the right way. Did it wrong.
You're doing wrong.
Well, I'll say on that one, he gave his points, and he had actually really good points. He actually gave them a solution that would have worked. So I don't see anything wrong with it. And especially him addressing out the fact that they came back at him and he was like, who are you to say it? I'm a person who went through some shit, and instead of me staying in it, I walked away.
Yeah.
And even understand the point of that. The whole thing he was saying is, hey, I protested something and I didn't sit there and say, hey, well, I got to feed my family, so I'm going to keep working on it. I dipped.
Or working with this person.
Yeah, I dipped out.
Or feeding other people to this person.
Yeah, so yes, I have a right to speak on it. And that's where, tying back to one of the other conversations that I was having, when we say the who are you to speak on certain things, we get that a lot from that community where it's like, yo, you don't know about our experience. Yeah, you damn sure don't know about our experience over here. So we kind of get into a
you're at an impasse. You're in a Mexican standoff.
But it's only that kind of standoff if you don't sit down and say, hey,
and try to figure it out.
Or no, just sit down and just be empathetic
or candid
or be human. That's the whole point. Like, you can sit down, what do you say, have a human experience. This is how I feel. You know what? I feel from that
Does
aspect.
Being transgender delete your humanistic side?
No. I think
do they
for certain people, for a certain sect of the trans community, if you really want to do the work on it and like to get to that, oh, this is what this is really about, I'm having a human experience, and you have to look outside of yourself and see everybody else going through their human experience, it will make you understand a lot of stuff from a Black perspective. Like, oh, now I see why they have not, or how progressed the way that we feel, or why they have their culture of it. Like, you'll start to really get how we got here, and all the stuff that we've been talking about all this time. You get to see the real agenda. There really is an agenda to hold it down. but to that certain group of people, that will go against exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So when Dave talked about Black people actually being jealous of gay people instead of fearful of gay people, and being jealous in the sense of
the definition of jealous.
Gotcha.
Don't jealous me. So
sorry, continue.
Yeah, Black people being jealous in regards to their progress. Like, damn, y'all done organized, unified, positioned yourself, and you've made great strides, got laws passed in your favor. You've it seemed as if you're victorious in your fight, but here we are still fighting our fight for much longer for the most part. So would you agree with Dave and what he was saying?
The full definition of jealousy is hostile toward a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage.
Say that one more time. Hostile.
Being hostile toward a rival or one believed to enjoy an advantage.
So you take out the rival part.
Mm-hmm.
The or one to perceive to have an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I would say yes.
I would say yes, because they definitely have an advantage over Black people.
But that goes back to what I was saying about the whole skit I had in my.
And I'm not saying all gay people have an advantage over Black people. Gay white people have an advantage over Black people, period. Especially have an advantage over gay Black people. Because that's a twofer right there. But gay white people definitely have an advantage to be jealous of.
Mm-hmm. No,
There's a difference between being jealous of someone and being phobic.
Yeah, let's say use that. Okay, so let me try to explain further on why I can see the jealousy being there, and to use Dave's points.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's essentially you're redlining the racist fight. So it's like, oh, it's Black versus white. All right, boom. Hey, let me throw a women's issue. So you take some of the women away from the Black side. Okay, cool. Hey, let's do so. There's gay issues. Oh, Black people are homophobic. So you got the gay Black people going to their side. So basically, you're redlining, or it's taking away the other side's army.
Dividing and conquering.
And then for as many sections that you take away, you add something else for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, if I say you're coming to your side because you're calling your.
And then you go ahead and you call the French.
Well, geez, you've been French too. Oh, I see what you did there. See what you did there. So yeah, so it's basically like redlining. You're moving the goalposts. You're changing the districts. You're changing the force of power to put it all on your side.
It's a power scale, and you make sure that you always stay with the scale lifted for you.
So sticking with the Black plight, you had some hostile words for the woke community in regards to the segment that Dave Chappelle talked about with the Blacks owning slaves. Go ahead now.
I don't believe it's hostile words.
You know I gotta lie.
Niggas ain't shit.
I know you gotta lie.
I don't have to.
Yeah, that's
I
a
choose
cliche
to.
now.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Where niggas ain't shit is a cliche.
No, that I said I know you gotta lie. He said I don't have to lie. I choose to.
I choose to lie to kick it.
Well, what I learned, or what I am learning, what I am learning in school currently.
I think you advertising like you pretty much bigging up school like you got a like a sponsorship or something. Are you getting like kickback for
No, like I'm learning this shit to where it makes it more interesting.
Let me chill.
So you can read now.
Obviously.
Yeah, let me chill because we did sing "I Love School" last
Stay in school
for you and you're passing your midterm. So let me chill out. Go ahead.
I'm learning this shit, and he's talking about it on a special. So it was not abnormal for a Black person to receive their freedom and to then use that freedom to get money and then buy slaves. Capitalism.
It's all the same shit.
Bam, 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 bam. Capitalism.
Niggas will all I guess here's the harsh words. Niggas have been oppressing niggas forever.
Only the strong survive.
It's called natural selection.
Facts. It's just on different scales.
Is that Darwinism?
That is Darwinism. Black people have always been oppressing Black people. It didn't just start when they got here to America.
Just white people oppress Black people because Black people can easily oppress white people when given the chance. So white people have to do what they have to do to oppress us.
Survival.
And then so if white people teach Black people to oppress other Black people, white people still tip the scale.
Very true. So what can Jay
because
do?
You're in control of these Black people who are controlling these Black people.
What will Jay-Z do? What is M.E.M.E doing? Arguing with Rick about his contract.
Well, Rick's one of the people who owns people.
But he's owned by Diddy.
Who's owned by?
Clive.
So again, the white people, but it's still the white people control these niggas who control these niggas who control these niggas.
So you signed to a nigga who signed to a nigga who signed to a nigga who signed to a nigga.
And then the goal is to always sign more niggas to this nigga.
Which feeds the nigga above, which feeds the nigga above, and which feeds the nigga above.
Which feeds the white man.
Capitalism. But don't worry about it. You'll get a chain, enough money to give your family a nice Christmas. And then you'll be right back the next year selling drugs.
Free turkeys for the community, bro.
Nino did it.
So hopefully
it's bigger than Nino Brown.
But
Miss
niggas,
Hawkins.
Niggas will always
Bring it
that
back around. I'm taking Dave's picture down, putting Hannah's picture up there. We want all the smoke. We want all the smoke. Hey, we want all the smoke.
So listen, Hannah. So listen.
I'm gonna go home and watch her special.
I watched like the first 10, 15.
And he didn't laugh not once.
It wasn't really trying to watch it.
She bombed worse than Daphne.
Anyway?
No, it was more so listening.
What was she talking about?
Well, her experience.
First of all, he couldn't understand her accent. Whack.
My pineapple. She said, "Yeah, my pineapple." I was like, "Who? Your pineapple? Your pineapple?"
She said something about Wesley Pipes.
He out in Tanzania? That's in Africa. Tasmania. I was like, Tanzania? That's Africa. Hey, chill out.
Look at you trying to give another African state to the white man.
Boy, you a sellout.
Well, it's in your subconscious, buddy.
Yeah,
you can't help it.
Clear it out.
You want us all up underneath your umbrella. Who umbrella you underneath?
Who holding an umbrella?
I had a resident call me a sellout last week.
I know. I remember you told me that.
Sellout motherfucker. Goddamn.
Same one who pulled the.
Oh no, they flashed it on her.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody pulling that on me, but
okay.
Shit.
Okay. Yeah, I hear flash dancing and shit.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'm listening. I'm just listening because someone gave commentary stating that she's a representation of post comedy or in her special post comedy. Like it's not meant to be funny. She's a representation of because I think and they didn't.
Wait.
It's an oxymoron. Just follow.
So they were speaking and they didn't specify which special it was because she has 2 specials on Netflix. So I started watching the latest one from last year, and I got through like the first 15 minutes, and she was talking about just being a lesbian, coming like being from Tasmania, and it's like the 90s, and you know her coming out and things like that. So she was just pretty much giving a basis.
So
of
she
that.
stole Ellen DeGeneres' stand-up and made it unfunny.
Oh, I didn't watch the Ellen, but I know what you're saying.
So you said, but the point was.
Well, this is someone else's commentary in regards to it.
So
you're saying that it wasn't meant to be funny, and it's a representation of post comedy because I guess if I listened to it more, I would understand. But the premise of the show was based on talking about how comedy has, and I don't even want to put no words in, and misquote or speak on her show like I watched it and be, just repeating somebody else's commentary. But it made it seem like, hey, this wasn't meant to be funny. This is a representation of post comedy. So I'm like, okay, so when Dave said you have to admit she's not funny, it was like a double entendre.
That's what I was thinking this whole time. I was like, so what if you're saying it's supposed to be post comedy, then she wasn't supposed to be funny. So why are you mad about that shit? Because all I saw on the thing about that. Oh, Hannah is funny. You would know that if you were a straight black, like they were going there with it, like. Mm-hmm. But funny is subjective and based off of the experience that the person has. So going back to what you said again, my emotionally stunted self cannot understand Hannah's humor, which will make it racist because
a career stunted comedian would not know that all comedy ain't for all people.
But at the same time, it's like Dave could have said that to further prove his point that y'all are not listening. Mm-hmm. So if the point was this wasn't meant to be funny, and then you're like, oh, she is funny, it's like you're not listening.
Looking for a reason to argue.
You're not listening.
That's the whole part. Communication works both ways.
So I'm gonna say something that's gonna get me canceled.
Oh shit.
That means don't say it. You hold that thought. I'm just gonna say, hey,
the transgender community is acting like a bunch of women. They not listening. They just arguing to be out here arguing.
I want to be heard.
But I don't
want to hear.
They want to be heard, but don't got nothing real to say.
No, if I was thinking about actual women, then I would be misogynist.
I'm a woman.
Shit, you can still get canceled.
And I know how women act.
Hey, they gonna say that we influenced you. So
nobody influenced me. Wow. So again,
they don't care about that. Again, if they
that
not
means y'all not listening.
Again, but that's your point.
That means y'all not listening, and y'all ain't heard no other shows.
So you can't argue with women when you just made the basis for women like they don't listen.
They not listening.
When they say that, hey, Naki and Hater Heath are canceled, and they show is no more. They don't want to hear it, and they gonna say, "Hey, we influence you because you're around us." So you're thinking, and
they may take that as a compliment because that's how they want to be seen.
Who
else?
Transgenders.
No, we're talking about women. I'm talking about women gonna come at you for making that.
Oh,
just because you're a woman.
What's the word he used?
Which one?
I done said a lot of words.
No, Dave.
Which part? Oh,
J.K. Rowling.
The grass at the grass at the Dallas Cowboy Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Better than grass.
Beyond meat.
I say beyond grass, as I was saying. But yes. So with that argument, we put my old contrarian hat back on. All right. So I'm not going to say it now then. Or are we got to that segment yet, or did I jump too far?
Oh, we can go ahead and jump into that segment, man.
Wait, do we have any more of the rest of that one?
Oh, we can tie it in.
We can tie it in.
Because I was still dealing with the black experience and talking about what y'all niggas want.
What? Can't touch.
What y'all niggas need.
It's right here with me.
Dun, 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 dun.
I heard it.
Yeah, that'll be the new segment. What y'all niggas want. It's right here with me. That's a commercial.
That's what he said.
It's a commercial.
That's what he said. He said it's right here with me.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a commercial.
Look,
now.
you see how he steal your shit without discussing it with you?
2 years later, yeah, I came up with the commercial. I was on the show.
Well, I was about to say a segment.
I was all by myself.
I said I was going to say
You're on
it's
an
a segment.
island. Come on now.
He would pick up the phone.
I called them
twice.
No.
Fee will let you know that he don't pick up the phone.
What he gonna do is he gonna have me call you because he know you don't answer my calls.
He called them numerous times, but I say it's not like a commercial. It's right here with me.
I like it.
Okay, so I was waiting to go into it.
Yeah, go
That's the whole point.
Can we use the fish island?
Old contrarian.
And be dancing in front of the cameras just like that video?
No.
I'm gonna wear some blonde boxer braids like Eve.
No.
Y'all can draw
Go ahead, sir.
dog prints on my chest.
Whoa. No.
Wowzers.
All right, so if I get this point. So the whole hi, I'm old contrarian. So
hello, old contrarian.
how are you today?
Good.
So when Dave spoke about the defending of old JK, just kidding, Rowling.
Show him. He want to see.
That's what her box braid's gonna look like.
Yeah, damn that helmet head.
Why is so big? Pause.
that shit mark.
It's some more.
No, but
braids, nigga.
So with just kidding, Rowling's over here getting canceled.
Just kidding, Rowling.
Over the turf comment. So I was talking to the podcast over here, and we were talking about turf. So I asked him, what does turf stand for? It was a trans exclusionary radical feminist. So Dave took the whole time. Well, he took the beginning part to explain what a feminist was. So he basically say, "Hey, I am a feminist," off of definition. Mm-hmm. He then said he stood with J.K. Rowling and he identified with being turf. Mm-hmm. So by that definition, he's excluding trans people. So by that token, you put a fact on the trans community's argument that he is spewing exclusionary
hate speech.
I'm not gonna. No, I'm choosing my words very carefully.
Okay.
He's using exclusionary speech to exclude the transgender community. Thoughts? We already had this discussion. Jeez. Since he identified with turf, he's basically saying, "Hey, I'm excluding trans people."
Right.
So they would have a argument on the trans community side.
Oh, in regards to that,
he was saying he's transphobic.
I was trying to remember the conversation. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, we didn't have so many conversations. Come on now. Act like
I just said it, though. So,
nigga, you just said something and forgot in like 2 seconds.
I always do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I get a pass.
You're the other one. Be better. So basically what I'm saying is, would they have an argument in that aspect?
No.
Why not?
I mean, like, you can try it, but then he can flip and be like, I was joking. I mean, it was being sarcastic. I was being sarcastic.
he said gender is a fact.
Oh, okay. Now
that part. Yeah, the turf. Yeah, the turf.
Okay, okay, now I remember that conversation.
The turf gender is a fact. Conversation. So if we're gonna say that, then they have an argument saying that it has exclusionary speech.
So you're just gonna run off of just that? Him saying that it's gender fact? Is that the only thing that is that the only thing that you can move on?
I'm saying that was one thing you can point to where yes, that's a point.
That's a fact.
So it's like, all right, cool, we can use that, but when you start getting in the bag and talk about that, it's like, what is your response?
What else do you have?
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer it.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
So Dave also said in the stand-up special, we can have a difference of opinion as long as we don't overstep each other. So you could say, hey, well, it's not really like I believe gender is a fact. Hey, I believe gender should be chosen. Okay. There really should be, unless it's something that's affecting. Going back, we talked about the whole thing about the bathrooms in the Walmart. So that's when you start affecting. So that's when you brought back to the baby argument. We're saying like, hey, so you get kill a person, but you didn't show a birth certificate to go use the bathroom. It doesn't make sense.
In the same
make sense.
in the same state.
And then who are you protecting?
In the same Walmart, nigga.
Yeah. So who are you protecting? Or who, like, what is this for?
Right.
So you can have a difference of opinion, but it starts getting weird when you start impeding on certain things.
Your inclusion does not mean my exclusion.
So I just gave you an old contrarian argument and answered it.
Well, thank you, sir.
Where was your antennas?
I was actually paying close attention to you. I'm listening. I'm here. I'm here today.
But I said it earlier, so I was hoping he would remember it and he'd get back to me like that. I knew he was gonna do it. I'm just playing funny.
Yeah, I didn't remember the full conversation.
I didn't remember none of that shit. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
I mean, I remembered it, but then my response was like,
huh?
If that was
What do you mean?
Like,
I don't get it.
But it's like my response earlier was like, is that the only thing that they can get him on?
That's the only thing I thought off the top of my head.
Right.
No. What you said was, if they were listening, that would have been one of their talking points.
Oh yeah, it could have been. But, but at the same time, me taking that, and then if they attempted to argue that, then again, it's like, what are we talking about? Because he can go in and get in his bag in regards to gender fact, and then they go back and forth. But then at the same time, it's like, when we talk about exclusion, am I excluding you all around, or are we just talking about like one section? It's like, in regards to exclusion. Go ahead.
I have one. I just thought it was off the top of my head. I just want to actually put this in here because I found it hilarious when he said it and thought provoking. But it could be problematic. Someone's here to think about it. When he said that white women look at trans community like black people look at blackface. Like, that was like, from that aspect, from the turf argument, it was kind of like, I can see it, but on the other side, it's not the same thing. Good thing. Not pause because I was thinking about it a little bit further. So that was a very thought-provoking part right there.
Oh yeah, that's a very strong analogy.
But nobody's talking about that part.
Of course,
because they ain't listening.
No, I'll tell you why they're not talking about that part, because then you have to go acknowledge what the blackface part meant.
Right.
Oh, of course.
So once again, they don't open up that can of worms.
Because that would mean that your inclusion, for you to be included, you're okay with our exclusion.
So this basically boils down to this is why I say we're not gonna get anywhere like having that sit down, because it's basically a black versus transgender argument. This is essentially what it's going to boil down to.
Instead of bringing it to the table as a human
conversation.
Yeah.
So that is why I asked, as a part of that community, do you lose your humanistic nature?
I see what you're saying. I just think a lot of people don't have a humanistic nature regardless.
Anymore.
Everybody's out for self, which is why they join these groups. Not saying certain groups, like saying that people just to join a group, but certain people click up with groups just to feel like, say, the inclusion, feel like they're a part of something, to feel, oh, I am somebody type of deal. So they identify with it so much. Whenever they come across someone who has a difference of opinion, it's like, oh, you're shattering the very core of who I am.
My essence.
Yeah. And then really like I'm just telling a joke.
I'm just being me.
I'm just telling a joke. It's like, no, I am really hurt. So that's why he would say like, okay, so how much do I have to participate in your
self-worth?
Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I understood what Dave was saying as far as that aspect. At the end of the day, there really isn't like just work on yourself. That's all. Just work on you. Just work on your own self-esteem. Work on your own self-love, and a lot of this stuff won't even matter.
Yeah.
Oh,
what happened? Oh no!
I forgot to put the
what's called that?
The plug.
Oh snap!
The plug in the.
This is unbecoming of Dave. Dave deserves better than that.
Oh well.
It wouldn't be the first time that we've gone without a TV behind us.
Oh yeah, we went like 6 seasons.
So
6, 7 of them.
Well, they got the gist of it the first
7.5 years.
No, I'm talking about the first
2 hours of this show.
Right?
They got it.
Yeah.
They know what it is, bye.
Okay, so what's next?
Segment 3.
I thought
we already, but we didn't announce it. We just
we sang the song.
What we announced?
We said what y'all niggas want.
No, you did. It's okay.
Oh, I didn't remember saying it.
Yeah.
I just remember that what y'all niggas want.
Oh, fuck me.
Well.
So yeah. It's okay.
It's okay.
So yeah, so we talked about the oppressed becoming the oppressor.
Mm-hmm.
So we already talked about that. Your inclusion doesn't exclude me. Now with the show, the closer, he pretty much joked about different groups: feminists, lesbians, Space Jams, Asians, veterans, blacks, and the transgender community. But why?
He even talked about beating up on a lesbian fellow.
Right.
That was actually brought up. Somebody had a problem with that.
Bitch, I will slap the shit out of you.
I beat the toxic masculinity out of her.
Which we don't talk about that aspect.
Mm-mm.
But no, it's men's fault anyway.
Yeah. Regardless how you spin it, it's always our fault.
Well, we are the leaders.
I don't see that as y'all fault.
No, we're not the leaders. We're all equal.
Because as a woman, I see a lot of lesbian fellows who put themselves in that position where they step to men.
Oh my God.
Like they are men. And they want that smoke until it come time to actually get that smoke. And then they all of a sudden they non-smokers.
Now they women.
Let's say not smokers, but okay.
Now I'm feminine.
Right.
Now I'm feminist. Why was I not protected? Why did the black man didn't protect me?
Why is he disrespectful?
Why is the black man punching
why
on
you throwing
me?
hands with the black man?
Hey, bitch, that's my girl, nigga.
Hey, bro. My man.
But that I've seen that situation, and I know y'all have too.
Yeah.
I've seen that situation play out so many times. Like, it's mad how many times I've seen that situation play out. And do we want equality, women, or do we want to be separate? Because if you want equality means you got to catch equal amounts of these hands.
Throwing hands across America.
Bitches. Because if you walk up on a man and you hit him, he should dust your ass off. I'm sorry. You cannot. You can't. There's no way that he should get hit and you get nothing.
Or let's have the human experience. Hey, you don't want to get hit? Don't hit people. Or if you feel like hitting someone, then be ready to say, hey, I got hit back because I wanted to hit someone.
Or go hit a girl.
Yeah, go to
or go to the gym.
Go
hit the gym.
So you tell
They go to one of these women prisons and go
you tell people to
shoot the fair one.
Tell women to pick on someone their own size.
Mm-hmm. If you don't want to fight a man and get fought like a man,
go to the women's prison and let them hands fly. There's plenty of women
there's
in
no
there
way
ready to
that
box.
some guy should be constantly getting arrested for putting his hands on a woman who put her hands on him first.
I don't have any opinion on this.
I'm not saying this about the guys who just hit women to hit them.
There's a difference.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Women who are unable to defend themselves.
I'm talking about the women who think they're men.
Right. And ready to throw and will throw hands.
And will throw hands, but then cry female when they get beat up.
So that's like white people calling police after antagonizing black people?
Yes.
Karens of the world.
That's absolutely the same. So in some situations, black lesbian fellows are Karens.
Are black men the most unprotected people?
They actually,
by that token,
if you want to be 1,000% with yourself, you have to say yes. Because black men don't have a place where they can be safe emotionally.
Yeah, y'all can run to the
mentally.
feminists. Black women can run to the feminists.
Physically. Period.
If we can't run to each other, we don't fuck with each other.
You can't exactly. You can't run to each other because for the most part, y'all don't fuck with each other like that. And it's weird to see a man be emotional. So two men sitting together crying, that's
okay. That's a lot of feminine energy.
You can't be angry anywhere.
Oh, God forbid. Don't let me get my excited voice on. Hey.
They're gonna call the cops on you.
Liver the big black nigger.
Even dancing is probably a problem for y'all.
Depending on what type of dance we're talking.
It just is all around unprotectedness.
So niggas out here naked.
Getting fucked.
Well.
Pause.
Well.
So this is what Tariq was talking about, buck breaking.
I protect the men, the black men in my life and that I'm around. I'm very protective of y'all because I know what's up.
You know what's up. You know what it is.
Wow, that's not how the song goes.
At this point.
Hey. Memories like they used to be.
At this point, I don't know what's going on here. I don't even say anything because if I be like, that's not how the song go, he'd be like, so?
Go, fuck.
Okay, that's
that goes in my head.
Said, and you know what it is.
You know what it is. Gotta put some flavor on that.
Put some stank on it.
Sauce.
Oh boy.
But yeah, get into y'all It's Okay bag real quick before we close out this show.
Oh, okay. So it's okay to be racist, but it's not okay to talk about the transgender community.
Or racism, shit.
It's not okay to be racist. I mean, it's okay to be racist, but it's not okay to talk about the transgender community. You could talk about police brutality.
I'll put it like this. I've heard in the same scenario, let's say you have the American flag waving, and then all of a sudden someone comes out with the black flag or the red, green, and black, and then the rainbow flag comes out. It is okay for them to say, "Oh, why they got the black flag out there?" And they'd be like, ah. But if somebody says something about the rainbow flag,
cancel.
You out of here.
You're out of there.
So that'd be a quick, easy example of that right there.
So it's okay to
It's okay to joke about racism, but when you start talking about let's sit down and how we can
have an actual
get some
conversation.
reparations
Yeah.
for what was done against melanated people, then it's like, okay, now it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely. It's okay to talk about what police do to Black men and women and children.
Showing on TV.
Or on Facebook. Or even make jokes about it.
Why is it okay to victim blame Black people when it comes to police?
Oh, absolutely, because you should have complied.
Should have pulled your pants up.
You should have put your hands on the steering wheel. You shouldn't have been driving while Black.
You shouldn't have asked why you pulled me over.
You shouldn't be driving as a paraplegic.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be driving a nice car. Actually, you should not be a doctor using your trunk to throw the trash from your office away at a medical facility that you own.
You shouldn't even be living here, bud. You don't live here.
How do you own a medical facility?
Houseway. You shouldn't even be living in this neighborhood. I know you say you live here. I don't feel that you live here.
It's okay to be racist until you shoot a slave owner on TV.
That was great.
Yeah, that was great. And it was on repeat.
And in slow motion.
Like, I see what you were doing, Dave. Impressing it upon the subconscious mind. Giving us the repurposing. Well, I'm pretty sure that went down. We seen Django. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't really a repurposing, but because there was like Nat Turner and all that who rebelled. But to see somebody coming from the future to the past and handling, because I feel like you can't do that. You just gotta, tap into, the parallel universes. Counterpart, shout out. Well, we could go and do that and go handle that. Because I've seen TikTok videos where it was like, you hear somebody in the background, and then they'll say like, yeah, I just went back to the past to feed one of the slave owners Popeye's biscuit. Dry ass biscuit.
I mean, the biscuits in the past were dry as well, but that's neither here nor there.
Were they?
Yeah, they were prepared.
Oh, so they could handle the Popeye biscuit.
They know.
Like, oh man, this is moist.
Yeah, we're used
a little buttery. I like this. Who made this?
Oh my God, thank you. Wait a minute.
You're a slave now.
It's okay to kill our childhood by making the Count a pimp.
That was what it was.
That was hilarious.
Been late 4 times. I've been counting. How many times must I slap you? 1, 2 smacks. So
Hi, bird.
Need some smack bird.
I need some smack bird.
So he could do that.
Yeah, it's okay to kill our childhood, but it's not okay to go and make jokes about the trans community. It's okay to make fun of the vets. He's peeing out of his butt. Thank you for your service. You must be a veteran.
Thank you for your service, sir.
You can I forgot it that fast. You can talk about being molested by Michael Jackson.
You could talk about being molested yourself by a priest.
No problems.
No problems. You could talk about kicking one of your friend's moms in the pussy as a child. I punched her in the pussy.
And one of the greatest technical comedian aspect that I appreciate, how he brought the punchline.
Yep, and he said he could make a joke out of anything.
No, he tell you the punchline of the joke and it'd still make it funny.
Mm-hmm. So that's all fun. That's all great. You just can't talk about the transgender community. Even as a football coach.
No.
You can call one of your players.
He actually resigned. He didn't get canceled.
Yeah.
He resigned.
He resigned before he got canceled.
He resigned what hours after she got
Have you seen?
We ain't gonna play.
I ain't even gonna apologize. But
I think woke up saw that article like they would call it right now.
Hey, he woke up. I am resigning immediately. Scan that.
He got a bit.
Have you seen the high school teacher that dressed up and did the
Native American?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She still has a job.
What was the? What
was the purpose? I don't know.
Either I think people want attention, or the other side of that. Like in those situations, in my head, just to make it funny, like what if she was like doing that, but then at the end she's like, "Well, let me tell you about." Like she really got deep into it. Like what? Like let me explain the history.
They said that she's been doing that as long as she's been teaching her class, which is like 9 years.
So 2021.
So she ain't got that off. She ain't got that off for 9 years.
8 times.
And she got it off this year too because she's still working.
Yeah, she still has her job.
Well, if you turn around and say, "Oh, she's been doing it for the last 8 years," you kind of got to let it rock.
But they nope. But they changed the Washington football team's name.
But you don't have a representative to go at her, because that's a smaller scale. Whereas
they do have a representative, the school district. Every school district has a superintendent.
Well, they don't care, obviously. I'm saying it's not big enough to wash her. It wasn't enough press in regards to that.
Bullshit. It's everywhere. They even covered it on national news.
And she still got a job.
And she still has her job.
For now.
But I'm saying it's okay to be racist.
And how long did it take for the Washington football team to... That may have been like years and years to...
I don't think it became a big deal.
It became a big deal like 2 years ago. But that ties into... the investigation with the owner and the emails, all that came out, and then that's when all that kind of happened at the same time. It's like, oh, the owner's tripping. We have the scandal going on. Hey, we're gonna change the name. This is racist, so we're gonna change. It's like, that was low key. They low key changed it just like to take some heat off of them for all the stuff that was going on.
Being strategic.
It was all one big fell swoop. It's okay to be racist. It's just not okay to tell transgender jokes. I could call every left-handed person I know one of the devil's minions, and there would be no backlash to me.
Even if the Christian?
What if you got backhanded?
Would it be with their left or their right?
Either.
We'll see.
Look at this hand. You got me.
I'm gonna go lay down.
So that concludes.
But it's okay to be racist.
No. In the show on that note.
It's just not okay.
Okay.
To talk about the transgender community is pretty much what I got out of all of the research I've done.
I think that was the whole overall point that Dave was trying to make. And he made that point
very clear.
And then the point was made for him several times afterwards. So as I said, when I first saw it, I called you, told you about it. What are we talking about here? I thought everything was pretty much well explained. So that's why I
don't concentrate. You don't listen.
That's why I say no further discussion will not matter.
Because they're intent on not hearing.
Or
when you dead set on being wrong, nobody can stop you.
Not saying they're wrong. Just have a difference of opinion. But when you're locked in on your opinion,
yes, which makes you wrong.
Which is why a debate would never be, or a conversation could not really be had.
You can never have an open-ended conversation.
If they feel that they are telling the truth, just gotta let them have it. Like, hey,
but you gotta, if you want to have a open-ended conversation with somebody, you have to be willing to listen and understand that you're not going to be completely right on everything, and be willing to concede on those things that you're not right on.
Something to think about. Do you think Dave would listen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he told the story of, at first he didn't understand the terms. People was like, hey, you're transphobic. You're punching down. He was like, I don't understand. But as he sat and talked with different people from that community, and even said during the back and forth with him and Daphne, and he was asking questions and she was answering them. And then, what they talked about outside of just that show is like he was wanting to understand. So now he understands to he's more aware than he was like 9 years ago. So he's listened, he gets it. And, like I said, people may say like, well, you're still joking about it, but it's like, no, I understand. But now I'm joking, doing what I'm supposed to do as a comedian. You're not listening at this point because I did not
Oh,
I did not harm you or hurt your feelings or intentionally try to hurt your feelings.
so boom. I think this will solve the problem right now.
What?
Dave Chappelle needs to be what he said he was.
What?
He says a turf, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a trans exclusionary radical feminist.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what you should do?
What did I do?
Exclude the transgenders out of your act.
Well, he said this is the last time.
That's what I'm saying. I just thought about that right there. That's how you can respond to that.
And then they'll feel a certain type of way because they're not included.
We're not representing.
But that's the
us.
overall point. Yes, I'm gonna tell jokes about you because
You want to be excluded. You want to be included.
You're one of us. So it's like it's all ha ha ha. It's all jokes. But that shows you're a part of the family, and everybody part of the family can get these jokes.
A part of the human race.
The human family.
So we'll conclude on that note. So this is season 8, while we show you why we're great. Meme number 91 entitled, "Oh, hell. Ah, hell, Dave Chappelle. Hashtag, don't abort the baby. Hashtag, cancel culture." Oh, we forgot to talk about the genius, the brilliance of ending it on that note. Don't abort the baby. Kevin Hart, and stop punching down on our people. Brilliant way to end the show.
Yes.
For the closer.
Yeah, but was his people the black people or the comedians?
The black people.
I thought he meant comedians.
I thought he meant black comedians.
Or just black people in general.
No, I thought when he threw the Daphne part in, that's where he meant comedians, and that was basically to say, hey, let comedy be comedy.
And y'all, we didn't even get into that.
The comedy, let comedy be comedy.
No, not just that, but she's of your community.
Oh yeah, she was
and you bullied her so hard.
Mm-hmm. That she possibly. Yes, they possibly.
Allegedly. Because we can't prove it.
Yeah. So.
But she's of your community.
Part of Dave's tribe, as he said. Comedians. So.
And taking a man's livelihood is akin
to killing him.
To killing him.
That's true. He said that back in the days. Why would I kill you? I just take your money from you. Make you suffer. Make you listen to your suffer.
So don't abort the baby. Nice spin on the pro-life. Which I would assume that a lot of people within certain communities are pro-life, and it's like, hey, don't abort the baby. So it's a nice, masterful way of using that and flipping that and telling those people, don't abort the baby. So very tactful, masterful, a genius in what he does. So boom.
Remember, you kill a nigga today, he lives forever. So I probably outsmart her. There'll be no martyrs.
So yes, this is season 8. Where we show you why we're great. Meme number 91 entitled, "Oh hell, Dave Chappelle." Hashtag don't abort the baby. Hashtag cancel culture. Topics of discussion.
Hashtag where the fuck is your dog?
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag surf and turf.
So topics of the discussion was
capitalism.
Capitalism.
I'm sorry, controversy.
Controversy.
I had your back. Capitalism.
It didn't hit me till I was about to say it, and I was like, damn, I'm already controversy. So segment 2, closing the cancel culture.
Closing the cancel. Okay, it's not C's.
Yeah, closing the cancel culture. And then segment 3, it's okay.
It's all right, y'all. It's okay. It's all right, y'all.
It's okay. Join us in 2 weeks for our Standing for Women series, meme number 92, Queen Latifah in command.
Here we go, Queen.
You got it.
Here we go, Queen.
Latifah's hyped up. Down. Queen Latifah in command.
So I find it funny how we're doing this the Standing for Women episode after this Dave Chappelle. That beat's fire.
Hey, KG got off on that beat.
It's the Ella, the T.I., the N-I-E-G.
Myself.
Yeah. It's the L.A., the T.I., the A, myself. Yes. Standing for women, bud. Fuck with me. Hashtag Latifah's had it up to here. Where you can find
Queen.
You got it.
Latifah's hyped up.
Where can you find us? You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and all podcast platforms. You're only getting seasons 8 and up on those platforms. If you want seasons 1 through 7.5 and post and pre and post shows, which we still haven't done, and other exclusive content, go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/theMEMEpodcast. Donate, support, and become a meme or a memer. So in closing,
ooh, this love is so good that I won't let you go.
I won't. Yeah. Yeah.
Hurrah!
Hurrah.
And I will say, self-care is what you need, babe. Get yourself together.
Yeah.
Get yourself checked. Get yourself mentally right. The world ain't gonna save you. Niggas ain't gonna save you. The trans community ain't gonna save you. Only you can save you.
I flipped the time zone, but what do I know? I spend a night in Hollywood with my eyes closed. I just fly home with my eyes closed, but it get kind of hard to see. That's no surprise though. And you can find me. I ain't hiding. I don't use my feet when I be gliding. I just slide it and then I'll roll out. R.I.P. Mac Miller every day.
Word up.
Climbing over that wall.
I remember that. I remember that. I remember that.
Oh, man. Rest in peace, Matt Miller. And Nipsey. And DMX. And that's Stephen Houdini.
And Biz Markie.
And Miss Markie.
And Shock G. Got a whole list. Boy.
Yeah,
man, we'll be here all night.
God dang.
And I end by saying,
Shut up, bitch.
Well.
I don't know which one of us he's talking to.
I was just giving shout outs to the
dead homies. So, life is but a meme. You can dream, express, or have no chill. But at the end of the day, we can give a fuck how you feel. So this is the Meme Podcast. When it comes to black entertainment, we reign supreme. All facts. We're the Supreme Meme Team. We clout chasing, keeping up, and about waking people up. We honor both. If you have a problem with that, pull up if you want that smoke. And it'll be that way until I say cease.
We out of here. Peace.
You're now listening to Meme. You're now listening to Meme. Yeah, yeah. Meme.
Shut up, bitch.